If you're familiar with the phrase, expect the unexpected, we'll have another example of that axiom tonight on a Wednesday edition of High School Girls Basketball. We're at Visitation once again in Mendota Heights for a rather unexpected battle for first place in the Tri-Metro Conference. The Visitation Blazers, riding a hot streak that includes a recent win over De La Salle, undefeated in Tri-Metro Conference play, takes on a Richfield Spartans team that is 7-1. Both teams look to use this matchup as another refinement tool as they gear for a postseason run. This one should be a lot of fun. Greetings, everyone. I'm Mike Beaton. Here I am all by myself talking to myself. That's Chaos Theory. Visitation, the talk of the town last week with their big win over De La Salle. I spoke with Kevin Block ahead of time. Visitation able to keep Aniiyah Scott in check, and they got big games out of Sam Wills and Kirsty Yeager. Sam has had a couple of lighter days, so to speak. She sat out in Visitation's win over Columbia Heights as she nurses a strain. Nothing serious, but they want to save Sam for the big games, and Columbia Heights not quite at the same level as Visitation, so the coaching staff thought it would be best to give her a night off, let her recuperate, and save her for those bigger matchups down the road. Visitation on the back half of a back-to-back. They played Bloomington Kennedy last night. Sam had another light day of production, but it was another runaway win for the Blazers. But don't let those recent numbers fool you. Sam Wills among the state leaders in assists and blocks. Had that 2020 game, which you saw here, against Holy Angels, and has continued to put up double-doubles with impunity, closing in on 2,000 career points. She will be the first Visitation player in school history to do so, and if she stays healthy, that mark should be hers before the season's out. Richfield, similar in structure. They have a pair of players who get the job done, and they bring some different assets to the hardwood. Desirai Chappell, the leading scorer, and also one of the top defenders in the state. She is in the top 10 for steals, has 3 double-doubles, a couple of the points steals variety. You can imagine Desirai will lead a feisty defense that will try to hassle Sam and the rest of the crew. And another scoring option comes in the form of Aniiyah Johnson. More of a three-point threat than Chappell, and that has complemented Richfield, who has put together a pretty solid season. They have struggled a bit against some of the top-level teams in Class 3A, but for a team that hasn't had much recent history, you have to go back to Jessica January to find a high level of success for Richfield, and then another state tournament run in 2015. It is a resurgence of sorts. A win over Visitation, while they're a 2A school, Richfield a 3A school, would be another step that signals a continuing resurgence for a school, a program that has played a part in the history of women's basketball, and they hope to do so again down the road. We'll be back for the starting 5. You're watching High School Girls Basketball. Twin Cities Sports Broadcasting, and a whole lot more. That's what you get from TSB Television. We provide long-lasting digital coverage of your favorite athletes from the preps to the pros. Dazzling moves. Holloman, good if it goes. Yes! Game winners. James, she's in trouble. Finds James, toss shot! It goes in! And everything in between. Before we let you go, do you want to say hi to anybody?
Oh, I don't know. Let's put me on the spot there.
If you want to connect with our audience, visit us at patreon.com/TSB Television or sponsor our coverage through PayPal and Cash App. Thank you for watching. Welcome back to Convent of the Visitation in Mendota Heights as we get ready for this Tri-Metro battle. Again, the theme of this one is duos. As Richfield gets their pleasantries, Chappell, 3 double-doubles, 7 20-point games. Johnson, 4 20-point games, including 3 of the last 4 outings, 2 double-doubles. Richfield, last played on Saturday, dropped a game with 2 Rivers, another team that has been on the rise over the last couple of years since Nia Hawley took over. And as we go to the Visitation side, again, Sam Wills, 4th in blocks, 6th in assists. The 2020 game against Holy Angels, good for a double-double just about every game she plays. And Kirsty Yeager with a couple of 20-point games. If you're watching this on the TSB Television YouTube channel, they moved up the start time. It was originally set for a 7 o'clock start. It got moved up to 6. So while I wait for the crew to get here, I will run camera and do play-by-play until we get our crew. It was not a change we were made aware of until late in the game. And here's one of them, Elliott. So he'll get his baseline view ready to go, and I'll give him the GoPro as well. We'll get all of it set up. So if it takes us a little while to get everything in motion, that is why. So, with the starters introduced, let's do the same. For Richfield, it's Veronica Imbangoa, Desirai Chappell, Aniiyah Johnson, Zariana Rennie, and Aniiyah Leduc. Visitation will start Emma Meshke, Marie Jacobson, Elle Springer, Kirsty Yeager, and Sam Wills. Visitation wearing the red, Richfield wearing the white as we are underway. Again, we'll get everything up to speed in a moment, waiting for some of our crew to get here. So right now we just have the single camera, but we'll get all the cameras up and running before we're through. Richfield looking to go inside. This is Johnson. Goes back outside. Leduc's 3, airballs it. Dead ball rebound to the Blazers. This isn't the first time I've had to do both. In the last instance, though, we just had one of our crew members get misdirected. Tonight, it was a moved up start time when we weren't notified. But we'll do the best with what we've got as Visitation gets their first look. Sam Wills out of the high post. Bounce pass, wanted Jacobson, can't find her. Turnover for Richfield. Remember, they've got one of the top stealers, thieves, in Chappell. This is Imbangoa, over to Leduc. She got pressured and threw it to Emma Meshke. Now Visitation. Brings it up. Springer to Jacobson. The 3 is there. Springer with the triple, and Visitation's on the board. Leduc. Inside, got the feed into Rennie, but nothing there. Wills got fouled. And here comes John, so I'll take my spot on the play-by-play side. And hopefully Howard, our last camera op, will get here before long. All right. So now that John's here, he's going to run the wide shot so I can focus on play-by-play once he gets settled in. Speaking of settled in, Kirsty Yeager certainly is, as she scores on the take. It's 5-0 early in favor of Visitation, looking to go 15-5. All right, now I can settle down. Rennie gets the friendly bounce on the runner. Richfield's on the board. We covered Richfield once or twice back in the day as Wills finds Yeager inside the line. Can't get it to go in, Wills with the offensive rebound, gets another. If you can keep her off the boards, you've got a good chance. But if Richfield cannot, Sam, I think, could run laps just like she did in the Holy Angels game. Again, double-double in almost every game this season, averaging 20.2. and 14.4. She is a whiz when it comes to rebounds and scoring. Pass intercepted by Yeager. Howard's here, so we'll have our hero cam ready to go. Sam Wills pops a three. It's short. Rebound Yeager. So the gang's all here. And Chappell is there for the steal. Remember, she has 3 double-doubles, including 2 of the points-assist variety. And that's one reason why she goes coast to coast, the basketball equivalent of the scoop and score. Yeager from short range, can't get the bounce. Jacobson kicks out, 3, switch. And the Meshki knocks it down. Rennie in trouble. Finds Chappell to escape the double. Johnson kicks out to Leduc. Johnson threading it inside. And Bongoa hassled and coughed it up. Yeager finds Wills. Chappell made a play for the steal. Wills not strong enough underneath. Needed a little more oomph. Chappell in transition. Leduc sent away by Wills, and Chappell hadn't gotten back in bounds yet. Visitation riding a win streak. Richfield had a 6-game win streak snapped by the loss to Two Rivers. They're trying to extend it. High bank off the window, won't go in for Yeager, but she will shoot 2. Visitation looking for consecutive win number 7. Now we'll get a look at Yeager, who's averaging 12.7 a game, 80% free throw shooter. And a reliable figure for Visitation. Also on the tennis team here, splits at the line. We'll have a jump ball. And the arrow favors the Blazers. Wills nearly threw the inbound away. Yeager was there to recover, but she took a hop, and that will be a traveling violation. Light night of basketball. Wednesdays typically are. But again, first place on the line. If you're wondering how it works in high school, if the conference ends in a tie, regardless of which conference it is, then the teams are recognized as co-champions. I say that because that is a possibility, depending on the rematch between Visitation and De La Salle. Wills trying to tip the cross-court pass and had the right idea. The ball moved a little more quickly than her feet. Basketballs tend to do that. 12:48 left in the first, 9-4 our score. Five to shoot. Johnson, deep 3. Switch. Good recognition of the shot clock by the Spartans. There's Chappell again. Won't get the steal, but she forces another turnover, using her lateral quickness to tip the pass and put Meshki in a bind. We mentioned Johnson's three-point stroke. Shoots 40% from three-point range. Des Walker not kidding. Here she is, lining one up in the corner, but can't knock it down. Scramble for the rebound, picked up by Wills. Visitation evades the press. And it's Yeager who scores. Leduc. Blocked by Wills, but a foul. No, it's on Yeager. I thought it was on Wills, but it was on Yeager from behind. Leduc averaging 5.8 points per game, shooting just under 60% from the free throw line and 3.5 rebounds. She'll take a split, and it's 11-8. Wills to Warford, lines up a three. Off the rim, Wills moves underneath, can't get the putback. Chappell with numbers, lots of traffic. Traveling call. Chappell thought it was going to be on Visitation, but she took too many steps en route. And Chappell absolutely flabbergasted. Break for the Blazers. Springer lobs it down low, but a lot of traffic. Visitation kicks it back out. Three on the way. Yeager offline. Leduc with the rebound. Kevin Block, head coach of Visitation, thought this might be a high-scoring duel with the dynamic playmaking abilities of their top pair, Wills and Yeager, and Richfield's duo of Johnson and Chappell. Chappell, 13-footer, off the heel. Rebound Yeager. Wills to Yeager. Had the ball knocked away. We're seeing a defensive battle ensue. Warford wins the scrum. Sam Wills can't hit the three. Yeager with the rebound. Wills cuts underneath and gets one to go. That's her first field goal. If Sam can connect from short range, that will open things up as it typically does. Three from the corner. Richfield can't knock it down. That was Imelda Amajanaku. Mbangoa with the putback. Visitation trying to get the quick answer on the other end. Warford will go to the line. (13-10), 9:31 left in the first half. Warford missing the front end. Averaging 4.3 a game, 4.1 rebounds, 68% free throw shooter. And she splits at the line. Wills tried to get the tip. Chappell from the key. Straddles in and lays it in. Chappell and Johnson, both seniors. Johnson, or I should say Wills, kicks out, 3 on the way, raises the front iron. Johnson getting the rebound. Amejanaku. Another scrum for the rebound. It's picked up by Visitation. Sam Wills will bring it up. Rennie on top of her. Backdoor pass. Intercepted and a foul. Foul is on Aviana Olsen. 8.5 to play in the first. Johnson gets free, short of the runner. Iona McNabb got the rebound, and free throws coming for Desirai Chappell. Desirai Chappell scored 30 in the second game of the season against Bloomington Jefferson. One of those under the radar figures. Her free throw shooting, her big weak spot, under 50%, 47.4 to be precise. And she blinks at the line. Wills. She has been guarded well. Olsen. The ball was tipped. And no putback for Jacobson. Chappell turns on the Jets, will shoot 2. The foul's on Yeager. And while Kirsty beside herself for a moment, as we noted, Desirai struggling to make her free throws count. We'll see what she can do here. A diamond in the rough, though, as Desmond Walker calls her. Average 15.5 last season. Blinks again. Richfield 1 of 6. Wills going for the touchdown pass. Yeager put too much on it. Rennie with numbers. Errant pass and an empty missed opportunity for Richfield. Wills, guarded again. Olsen. Moved inside, got hacked en route to the rim. That's the second on Johnson. Yeager picked up her second a while ago, and Olsen, who played a few minutes last year, has seen some more time this year, averaging 5.3 a game. We'll have to wait to go to the free throw line. Foul occurred before the shot, so just to side out, as neither team is in the penalty. Yeager launches. Short. Olsen wasn't in bounds, so a dead ball rebound to Richfield. Richfield, oh my. Players taking a tumble, but Chappell scores off the inbound, and Richfield ties it up at 14. Wills, the handoff, deep three. Visitation having a tough time getting interior penetration. And there's another example as Greta Hayes was cut off. Meshki snatches it away. A defensive slugfest so far. 14 all. Chappell couldn't go coast to coast that time. Olsen catches the outlet, draws the foul on Reddy, and this time Olsen will go to the line. Again, Olsen averaging 5.3 a game, 2.2 rebounds. Neither team getting on much of a run. Whoever can get settled in as Olsen splits at the line. Timeout Visitation will have the edge. Visitation taking a timeout. Blazers looking for their 7th straight win. That would get them to 15-5 as we're into the final third of the regular season for a lot of teams. Actually, Visitation will only have 6 games left after this. They'll have another tip with Holy Angels and that rematch with De La Salle February 21st. It's at De La Salle, and that could decide the Tri-Metro Conference title or possibly a share of it. Chappell with 6 points, Wills with just 2, and Johnson has the 1-3. Yeager with 5 points, so everyone being held in check. Will it stay that way? Or is another run? Is there an uptick, a surge waiting in the wings? Chappell will go back to the line after drawing the foul, I believe against Meshki. First on Meshki. Chappell gets one to go. That's a sight Richfield wants to see. Chappell, who had blanked in her last couple of trips, gets both there. And any production, any makes you can get from Chappell at the free throw line will go a long way. Greta Hayes drains the runner. McNabb doubled. Richfield swings it around. They set up Johnson for 3. It's short. Sam Wills using her reach and her wingspan to get the rebound, but Olsen couldn't catch up to the outlet in time. Now it's Richfield with numbers. LeDuc transition three off the front iron. Rebound and free throws for Zuri Hayes, the 8th grader.
Number 5, Zuri Hayes, first one, 16-5. 21, Zuri Hayes, 2 shots.
Hayes hasn't scored much this season and has had a difficult time from the free throw line. At least on the data we have. Rennie and Johnson, the best free throw shooters for Richfield, both shooting in the low 70s. But games can be won or lost there. Offensive rebound for the Spartans. Chappell fakes. Leduc didn't look like or didn't believe she had the shooting space, so opted to pass back out. Hayes hands off to Chappell. Chappell around the fence. 3 from the corner. Short. That was Hayes. Another dead ball rebound to the Spartans. 4:57 left. Under 5 to play. Richfield getting a few offensive rebound opportunities, and McNabb makes the most of it. All those extra chances can build up, and it's 19-17. Visitation swings it around. Springer missing the tray. A 13-4 team versus a 14-5 team. First of 2 meetings. Johnson to Chappell, lobs it. Richfield scores again. Chappell to Hayes. Largest lead of the game for the Spartans. As we noted, whoever can get on a run, whoever could escape their funk, would be in prime position to set the tone, the tempo of this one. Wills. Visitation in trouble. Sam throws it up. Again, not a lot of touches tonight. Richfield looking for the transition layup. McNabb couldn't give it to them. But the Spartans have done a terrific job covering Wills. Kennedy used to box him one last night, held it to 7 points. Of course, Visitation still won by a big margin. And now Chappell, too strong. Had the lane, couldn't take it in. Some more missed opportunities on the part of the Spartans. Another 3. Blazers still can't get the outside shot to fall. They've got a couple, but that's it. Jump ball, Richfield with the arrow. Officials whistle. Usually when that takes place that has something to do with the shot clock. We have 2.5 to play. It will be a side out for Francois and Richfield. Rennie missed the runner. Wills from the key. Gets called for the charge. That's her second. Zariana Rennie called the enforcer by Desmond Walker, and while she hasn't been super physical, all things considered, that is a big stop on a player who has struggled to find her footing. Richfield in section 6-3A, so they'll have to get through Orono and Benilde St. Margaret's potentially to make it to state. That seems like a tall order. Richfield struggled in their first meeting with Orono. And the shot clock did not start. Did not reset properly. So we've got to bring it up 1 second at a time. Officials have been spot on with that whenever the shot clock is frozen for the most part. Chappell got nothing out of that. Visitation breaks the press. Catch and shoot three. It's there. Yeager breaks the scoring drought. Al Springer swooping in to take away that cross-court pass. Sam Wills with the 2 fouls at a tough angle. She's stuck at 2 points. Chappell, driving kick, 3 ball, missed everything. Foul, and that's on Richfield, their last to give, with 1:06 left in the first half. A first half that has seen a mountain of struggles for the two sides. Springer to Warford. Wills, fade away, got it. Visitation retakes the lead, getting a couple of big buckets from their 2 big names. Anything that gives them a little momentum. Chappell cleans up the mess after the miss by Mbangoa. Shot clock is off. Yeager from Warford to Wills. Sam. Bounce pass. Richfield covering up that lane. They don't want to give up a driving lane if they can help it. Sam with the catch. The post up, can't flip it in. Gets the battle and is fouled before time expires. I should say gets the rebound, won the battle for it. If your shot's not going down, sometimes you got to scrap for it. So Sam will shoot 2 before time expires.
24, Sam Williams,
even though it's an art that has faded over time, the mid-range jumper is something Sam Wills gets a lot of praise for. Volleyball, basketball athlete. We've talked about her affinity for wakeboarding, late night drives to Applebee's in our last broadcast, but really is a utility player, closing in on 2,000 points. Won't get there tonight, but a history maker here at Visitation. Makes both free throws. So Sam Wills gets a couple of points to go her way after an ardent struggle in the first half. 24-23 in a defensive battle between two teams vying for first place in the Tri-Metro. We'll take a break and bring you to the second half now that our crew's here. And we'll find out who gets that first place position in the Tri-Metro Conference. You're watching high school girls basketball.
Twin Cities Sports Broadcasting, and a whole lot more. That's what you get from TSB Television. We provide long-lasting digital coverage of your favorite athletes from the preps to the pros. Dazzling moves.
Holloman, good if it goes. Yes!
Game winners.
From James. She's in trouble. Finds James. Toss shot! It goes in!
And everything in between. Before we let you go, do you want to say hi to anybody?
Oh, I don't know. Let's put me on the spot there.
If you want to connect with our audience, visit us at patreon.com/TSB Television or sponsor our coverage through PayPal and Cash App. Thank you for watching.
Welcome back to Convent of Visitation in Mendota Heights. High school girls basketball. Visitation and Richfield locked in a tight one. A defensive duel. 24-23. Visitation leads. First half numbers. Kirsty Yeager with 8 points to lead the Blazers. Sam Wills with 6. No one else with more than 3. For Richfield, Desirai Chappell with 10 points. Nobody else with more than 3. And Aniiyah Johnson held to a single three-pointer among that group, which is a little bit of a surprise considering her perimeter prowess. So we'll see what the second half brings. It has been a struggle. Sam Wills was held to one field goal, didn't get a lot of openings. Richfield crowding the lane, trying to keep Sam and others who normally light it up from inside from doing their thing. Second half underway. What's at stake? Richfield would move into a tie for first place, and De La Salle would also move into a tie effectively. If they win, it would be their 7th out of their last 8. Again, Richfield struggled with Orono earlier this year and had a tough one against De La Salle in the first meeting. Wills. Nowhere to go inside. Baseline jumper from Jacobson is offline. And the rebound goes to Johnson. Chappell to Leduc, missed the 3. Sam Wills had her pocket picked, didn't see Leduc. Chappell moves in, can't hit the runner. O'board, and Mbongoa cut off. Visitation looking to go outlet. Jump ball. Meshke goes down hard, but no contact there, just a jump ball in that situation. Post up, and Bangoa scores. Wills, hacked again. Still shoot 2. Again, Sam Wills featured in the breakdown for that mid-range jumper of hers. Reading the court well, having a soft touch are the keys she considers to making it work. And looks up to Kevin Durant's game. Going to Harvard. And a beacon of talent here at Visitation. I've known her for a few years now, got a chance to see her as a freshman. One of the most considerate individuals you'll meet. Sam always up for sharing a story or two. And she has told plenty here. Mbangoa, foul by Wills, that's her third. And it's a big one with 16-12 left in the second half. So Veronica Mbangoa will have a chance to shoot 2. But she has not shot well from the line. And another one of those players, again, when you go beyond Johnson and Chappell, just not a lot to pinpoint on the Richfield side. Mbangoa blanks, Richfield 3 of 12. But Sam Wills does get that third foul, and she will have to be careful the rest of the way. At least careful for the next few minutes. Wills retrieves before the ball crosses the half-court line. Fires a runner and banks it in. When the going gets tough, sometimes you've got to toughen up. I know that's not how the saying goes, but this sport isn't for the feeble-minded. You've got to be willing to confront adversity. Wills up to 9 with that runner. Here's Chappell, lobs it to Johnson, stuck on 1 3-pointer, and she will remain stuck at 1 3-pointer. Wills and Yeager leading for Visitation, as you might expect, but how we've gotten there, maybe a little less so. Visitation swings it around. In the open, we talked about history. Sam Wills pulls up short on the mid-range J, dead ball rebound to Richfield. Richfield made a few state tournaments in the 2010s with Jessica January. And then the Adams twins took over for a year. Richfield last making the big dance in 2015. The only 3 times Richfield has reached the state tournament, won silver in 2012 and bronze the following year. Visitation, they reached the section final against De La Salle a few years ago, but have never made the big dance. Johnson spin move, nearly traveled. Long jumper, long 2, goes nowhere. Visitation swarmed again. They break the press. Jacobson fouled, she'll shoot 2. Jacobson averaging 9.9 a game, season high of 20. We don't think of Marie Jacobson as often when it comes to players to watch for Visitation, but Jacobson, no slouch. Volleyball, basketball, track and field, the sophomore, a professional guacamole maker. Splits at the line. She's on the board. Visitation 7 of 12, Richfield 3 of 12. And just like that North game that Richfield lost, the free throws could be coming into play. Sneak attack from Yeager, but she couldn't handle it. She gets a reprieve though as LeDuc runs out of bounds. Richfield will take a timeout there first. Both teams with Tri-Metro games remaining on their schedule. In Richfield's case, they do have one exception. They have a date with Northfield in mid-February. And just have the one loss with De La Salle. The two sides will meet again February 4th. Two teams that were sleepers. Visitation had a slow start, rallied nicely. Sam Wills had a slow start, but has really turned it up since that final minute of the first half, scoring off the inbound. That puts her at 11. And Sam's had to put in a lot of work, but she gives Visitation their largest lead of the game. Again, she has the 3 fouls. Double dribble call. Zuri Hayes caught the pass. Sam Wills tripped her up, and Hayes losing track of her awareness. So Wills forcing the turnover. She won't get credit for it, but still forced it. And that's what you're looking for, again, going to Harvard next year. Yeager, open lane as Chappell was sent to the deck, but she couldn't get the finish. LeDuc, too strong. Rebound Springer. Chappell trying to time that pass. She's a Viper out there, remember. In the top 5. Wills draws the blocking foul. Gutsy move for Sam. Remember, she's got 3 fouls, but she's going to Harvard, which tells you her IQ is probably up there, to say the least. Sam shooting about 68% for the free throw line, 67.6 to be precise, and her three-point stroke could use a little more polishing when I talked to Kevin Block and Chris Blomstrad earlier. Although three-point shooting is not her favored move, but she knocks down both free throws. 13 points now, and this is adding up for Visitation. Chappell underneath, looking for the reverse. Can't get it to go. Warford goes all the way like the sly fox she is. Largest lead of the game for the Blazers. Chappell breaks through Springer, puts a step on her, and says, see you later. First field goal of the second half, and Richfield needed that one. Warford can't get the touch. Dead ball rebound to Visitation. Visitation got a lot of press when they beat De La Salle. Wills, the handoff. 3 won't go down for Yeager. Johnson still stuck on 1 field goal. Chappell, driving kick. Johnson looking for the 3 ball. Bounces over the backboard. Still in play though. Sam Wills with the takeaway. Cross-court pass a little soft, but Johnson called for the bump on Olsen. Sam Wills tried to cut underneath, but Springer left that pass short. Needed a back shoulder throw. Chappell fouled, and she'll shoot 2. But as we have said, the free throw line has not been a happy place for Chappell all season. In spite of her prowess, 7 20-point games. It's a split for Desirai Chappell. Yeager, I think, wanted a foul or was calling something out. Wills on the take. I needed a little more English. Chappell for 3. Off the rim, Wills adds another rebound. Wouldn't be surprised if she holds a few records there too, as she strolls in for a coast-to-coast flip. Sam Wills is heating up. Wills with the snatch, stood over Abajanaku and just ripped the ball out. Kevin Block will take a timeout. Springer looking like she was in trouble there, but Wills, we saw a lot of that in the Holy Angels game. Stands at 5'11", but with her IQ, her awareness, and that wingspan, she is able to record blocks and steals just by keeping her body square up. I'd say that is her strongest trait in the years I've seen her play. 10:24 left, 35-28. Sam Wills. Again, nursing through some minor injuries, which is why she didn't play in the Columbia Heights game and only had 7 points yesterday against Bloomington Kennedy, who put in a boxing 1. But she came up big in the win over De La Salle. 20 points, 14 rebounds. Had a streak of 7 straight 20-point games. Her best mark this year, 29. And Sam has had 10 rebounds or more in all but one game this season among the games that are recorded. The one exception, Columbia Heights, where she had 9. Wills puts a move and and makes it look smooth. Sam Wills upping her production, and Chappell says right back at you. She's got 15, Wills with 17. It's Visitation with a 38-30 lead. Driving kick for Wills to Warford. The three, long. Wills contained on the rebound, but Olsen was there to snag it. Yeager, three is there. Yeager with their first field goal of the second half, and Visitation slowly pulling away from their Tri-Metro rival. Hey, they beat De La Salle, so I don't think they're going to be discouraged, intimidated, or nervous facing Richfield. Wills trying to cut off. That's a driving kick. Three from the corner. Tipped back to McNabb. Second chance try. Bounces around, but not in. Another rebound for Wills. Yeager feeling it. I think Chappell got a piece of it. Yeager will try from the elbow. Olsen can't get the bounce, but she will shoot two.
On the starters, number 14, Aniiyah Johnson, fourth person, 15 foul. 11, Aniiyah Olsen, shooting two.
No field goals for Olsen. But the freshman getting it done to the free throw line. She did a lot of that early in her 8th grade season. And Visitation slowly expanding their lead. 43-30. Richfield. Good ball movement. Rennie, the beneficiary. Hayes on the floor. Wilson, pump fake. The drive, too strong. Wills is swung a little too hard sometimes on those runs. As we get a tie up, Visitation holds the arrow with 8:31 remaining. Wills fields it, spin move, draws a late foul on Rennie. That's the last to give for Richfield, and Sam will go back to the line. Sam again dealing with a couple of ailments. Nothing that would sideline her from playing, but the coaching staff again managing her as best they can, because they know how crucial Sam will be if Visitation wants to make an upset bid with Minnehaha in Section 4-2A. Wills making her free throws count. 45-32, Richfield. They need a run soon. Trying to avoid back-to-back losses, something that hasn't happened this season for the Spartans. But that's not going to work out. The lob inside, overthrown, and a turnover. Richfield, 10-17 a year ago, so a big turnaround for this group. Wills doubled all the way. We'll have another tie-up. Richfield with the arrow. That time, Richfield getting on top of Sam Wills. Chappell lobs it. And Bongoa hounded. And Visitation snatches it again. Olsen for three. Bullseye. Her first field goal, and I think Visitation has taken command of this one. Olsen has hit a few threes, but looking up and down the Visitation roster, the best three-point shooter is Elle Springer, and her mark is 3-11. So long-distance shooting not a specialty per se for the Blazers, but they've had plenty of them. In a season where they currently sit undefeated in the Tri-Metro, and we spoke of the history or lack thereof, no state tournament appearances for Visitation girls basketball. And as long as they've been around, I don't think they've ever won a conference title. If they can hold off Richfield. They got the sweep over St. Anthony. I think it reasons to stand that they would get at least a share, depending on how that second meeting with De La Salle goes. But the Blazers had that slow start. Leah Passy came back. Unfortunately, injuries put an early end to her prep career, but Visitation matching their win total from last year. They went 14-14. Again, two teams on the upswing. Not what Richfield wanted on the ATO as they throw it away again. Entry feed, too strong. Johnson swipes it back, but Richfield, they need to put something together. Turn around, bounces in. For Zariana Rennie, I've noticed Sam Wills on the bench getting a breather in case she's needed for a stretch run. She played every minute in the game against Holy Angels and typically sees a lot of playing time in games that are close. They have to reset the shot clock again. And here they have to do it 1 second at a time. Ultimately, a minor pause. Another interception. Johnson pulls up. That would have been a big three. Chappell gets the rebound. Olsen bumping Leduc. Visitation had several to give. And Sam Wills will check back in. Sam, the oldest of three in her family, and both of her younger brothers athletes as well. Richfield couldn't get the inbound in. Ahmed Janaku took too long, called for the 5 seconds. Again, I'm not used to seeing Sam Wills on the bench often. Now Visitation, they nearly got called for 5 seconds. Yeager sprinting to the cup. Yeager with 13. A quiet second half for her compared to Sam Wills, but remember, she gave Visitation that early spark when Sam Wills was struggling to find her footing. Johnson stuck on 1 3-pointer. Chappell, the runner, can't float it in. Wills needed help, got out of trouble after collecting the rebound. Yeager, the laser skip. Jacobson missed the runner. 5:22 to go. Visitation closing in on their 7th straight win. And win number 15 on the season. Chappell turns on the Jets. Desmond Walker raising her slashing ability. 17 points for Chappell. Now Richfield pressing Visitation. It pays off. LeDuc blocked by Jacobson, and a dead ball rebound for Visitation. It's not just Sam who can make plays. Shot clock did not start again. (50-36). Meshke harassed. A tumble on the other end. Richfield can't get the bounce. Sam Wills gobbling up rebounds again, and she's fouled. Richfield out of fouls to give, so Sam will go to the line for 1 and 1. It's on Chappell, but Sam will take a trip to the free throw line. When I first met Sam, one of the fun facts she told me is her passion for romance novels. And she's got a few other interests too. A lot of ties to this school and ties to sports. Her mom, a graduate of Visitation, looked a little different back then, and her father played on the Notre Dame men's basketball team. Sam Wills up to 20 points. I don't know how she's feeling. Again, nursing a strain around her thigh, as I understand it. But not enough to keep her on the sidelines. Chappell had her pocket picked. Wills. Smiles as if she says, yeah, I did that. And to be clear, that's not a taunt. I've known Sam for a long time. She's never one to flaunt her skills like that, but she threw it up, and you never know if you make a shooting motion as we'll get the first free throw in. That is the 5th foul on Rennie, so she will finish with 6 points as Visitation will lock up their 7th straight win. But it goes back to the floor awareness, the IQ, as Wills gets a couple of bounces to go up to 23 points. Richfield will take a timeout, but I think Visitation has this one locked up. And as we said, a big game with De La Salle awaits at the end of the regular season, one that will likely decide the Tri-Metro title. Richfield was 7-1. Now, there is a rematch between these two on Valentine's Day, so it's not a guarantee. But Visitation coming up clutch in the second half. Sam Wills, 17 points. I really think, and with hindsight, it's a little easier to make this proclamation, but remember, Sam had a bucket and a couple of free throws in that last minute of the first half after she was struggling mightily, and I feel that opened up some chances here in the second half. Addie Mack comes to mind in that Minnetonka game that I had a chance to cover last week, as the pass is pinballed and then corralled by Visitation. We spoke of the Richfield defensive output. Visitation's defense clamping down and locking out Richfield. And that's going to lead to a big win. 3 is short, and a bump from Meshki. Chappell taking a hard hit. Trainers coming out with 3 minutes left in the second half.
Mic'd Up Sports is TSB Television's talk show series. Available on all major podcast platforms, we offer sports figures, past and present, a place to convey stories and adventures on a deeper level than our traditional game coverage. Whether you're a superstar athlete or someone who works behind the scenes, we'd be honored to share your story. If you'd like to be a guest, contact us at The Mike Peden on all major social platforms.
Desirai Chappell, that's a good sign. Gathering herself. I don't know if you could see it, but she lifted up her hand. She got body checked, and it's hard to tell exactly what she landed on. She's going to go to the training area. She's walking, which is a good sign. And from what I could see, it seems like the biggest concern, possibly a concussion. Of course, don't take my word as gospel. I'm not a certified athletic trainer, but they were working on her upper body, her neck area. I saw the trainer holding up a finger, I think, to see if Desirai had her wits about her, but did need the wheelchair. Hopefully it's not a serious injury, because Richfield, they're going to need her for the stretch run. Remember, these two meet again February 14th. It's one of those situations that happens sometimes in the sport of basketball. Everyone is
giving it their all as Sam Wills misses the three. And sometimes you get caught up in the same space. LeDuc, three off the heel. Zuri Hayes turns up and will have a chance for three. It won't come with enough time. To get the win, but I'm sure the concern right now for Richfield is Desirai's status. So Visitation will snag another win, go to 15-5, and get ahead of last year's win total. Richfield also on the upswing. Both underdogs to get out of their section as Sam Wills lobs it up for two more. She's been getting a lot of tough buckets. Might have had 30 if she had a little more English. But what a second half performance from Visitation. It was a 1-point game at the half. Sam Wills turning the tide. She'll find Jacobson for three. It's short. Olsen with the rebound. Kevin Block will take a timeout. And you might ask yourself, why would you do that when you have the win locked up? If you remember the discussion Pat Barrett and I had at the St. Catherine MLK invite, your timeouts can help you save possessions. And if you can save up to 5 possessions, why does that matter? Well, that means those possessions don't go down as turnovers, or are less likely to go down as turnovers. While it won't matter in this game, it might matter in another one, because I think De La Salle will have something for Visitation. But only time will tell. Just over a minute left. Wills pulls up. Oh, can't hit the mid-range shot. We've been hyping up her mid-range game, and while she hasn't been able to flex it as much as she wants, she flexed big time in the second half as Johnson gets the layup. That'll put her up to 5. 19 points in the second half for Sam Wills. And I see Chappell heading back to the Richfield bench. She's got an ice back, but she's walking without assistance. Pass tipped. So, good sign for Richfield as Zuri Hayes gives Chappell a salute. Yeager called for traveling and seemed a little perplexed by it. Big game for Sam Wills. And she'll be greeted with a celebratory applause. Logging in another big performance as she closes in on 2,000. She's 60 points away. Should get there next week. Coincidentally, we'll be covering Visitation's next game in round 2 against Holy Angels. As LeDuc will get a putback to close this one out. Visitation applying a second half surge to turn a tight one into a comfortable win, 56-43. Their 7th straight victory That puts them at 15-5 and caps off a pretty good January, all things considered. Sam Wills stepping up in the second half, as she customarily does. We'll try to get a chat with her before we wrap it up. This is high school girls basketball. The Blazers beat the Spartans 56-43.
Joining me is Sam Wills, who had 25 points. You remember her, of course, from earlier this month. Sam, couple of things. So in the first half, Richfield was all over you, trying to keep you in check, and you were just on the struggle bus until the last minute of the first half. I feel that's when things changed and you found that second gear. What was key about those points you got, the layup and the free throws, that helped you switch gears?
I think it just kind of shifted my mentality a little bit. I was really down on myself throughout the game. But also I have to give credit to my teammates because Emma Meschke came up to me and was like, you got to step it up. We got to do better for the team. And immediately that kind of clicked in my head. And I really appreciate having my teammates there to do that for me. So, yeah.
Well, I think that attitude changed, and we saw you flex a little smirk. I'm not used to seeing that. You drew a foul with about 3 minutes left, and you were just smiling like, yeah, I did that, or something to that effect. I know you're not one to boast or brag or smack talk, but we a little gamesmanship out of you. I didn't know you had that in you, but how do you think that symbolized the mood and the flow, the tide that was going in your favor?
Yeah, I think I definitely got some calls which at the end of the game, which I, appreciated, had to capitalize on. But, there was a little talking, had to get back at. I can't just let the talk happen. So I kind of let myself fall into that a little bit. But it felt good to go to the line, get some free throws, and just kind of get back in my flow a little bit. So.
Well, you know how to say a lot without saying a word, because I thought you weren't talking back. You were just just a little wink and a nod, so to speak. But how about that second half? 19 points, you finished with 25, and I felt you might have had 30 if a couple more runners go down, but you were grinding out a lot of tough buckets, and I think you just said, all right, I got to take whatever comes my way. What were you feeling?
Yeah, I kind of felt, just like you said, I felt like we had to turn something on for the team and just kind of get things done. We were playing well. We just had to kind of have that second gear, and I needed to bring that to the team. So I did.
And it was a tight one up until that second half. I think midway through, you and a few of the other players, Jaeger and the others, helped Visitation pull away. What do you think was the difference to give you your 7th straight win and still an undefeated mark in conference play?
I think our defense, we've gone through the season, we've really improved defensively, and we've just gotten up and into people and caused a lot of turnovers, a lot of pressure, taking quick shots, throwing the ball through the defense quickly, and I think that's just really made us into who we are as a team. So.
Where do you think Visitation's at now? Because I saw you early in the month. You had the big win over Holy Angels, then Winona Cotter got you, but you got that big win over De La Salle, which sent a lot of shock and awe, so to speak. There were still people talking about it over the weekend, like, what? You beat De La Salle, but how do you think that has symbolized the growth and progression to get a win against a team that is usually the team you have to go through in the Tri-Metro?
Yeah, I think it says a lot about this team and how far we've come. We still have a long way to go. We're only, one round through conference play, but I think we've come really far, and I think the biggest thing has been our mentality has switched. We really believe that we can win every game we come into, and we come out with that mentality and that aggressiveness, and it's taken us a long way.
So are you going to have another facial expression ready to go for the next game in case someone gives you a hard time?
It's always a smile. Kill them with kindness. Just smile. They can't do anything about it. So.
I like that. Kill them with kindness. They won't see it coming, because how do you can't respond to that. You can't come at somebody and say, wait, she was kind to me.
Just smile. Yep.
Well, I appreciate that. I like that attitude. I may have to use that next time. Before we go, do you want to say hi to anybody?
My grandparents are watching this from Texas, so hi, Grandma and Papa. Yeah, that's it.
All right. Well, hello, grandparents. Thanks again for the chat, Sam. Congrats on the win, and we'll see if you can keep this undefeated conference streak going.
Yes, thank you guys for all the work you did tonight. I appreciate you. That's it.
Sam Wills of Visitation. That will wrap up our coverage here in Mendota Heights. For the rest of our crew, I'm Mike Beaton. Thank you for watching.